This message from answering the call is for President of the United States Barack Hussein Satoru Obama, Attorney General Eric Holder, and Director of the Department of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano. Repeat after me. Ignorantia juris non excusat. One more time. Ignorantia juris non excusat. It means ignorance of the law does not excuse, whether willingly or unwillingly ignorant. Whether you knew you were breaking the law and were ignorant, or whether you didn't know the law and you were ignorant. Ignorance of the law does not excuse. We'll start with you, Mr. Holder. Operation Fast and Furious. You willingly allowed American firearms to be illegally sold under your direction, under your orders, from an Arizona gun store to people who cannot legally buy firearms in the United States, to transport those firearms across the border. And those firearms, God rest in peace, Brian Terry, God let him rest in peace, protect his family. Other Border Patrol agents and over 200 Mexican citizens died because of your firearms. Ignorantia juris non excusat. Your actions are not excusable. Not only that, you made money. Department of Justice made money. You took taxpayer dollars to purchase those firearms. You put them in, you sold them to the gun store, and then you made money. Tax money, override. That's fraud. Conspiracy to commit murder. You knew that those guns might kill somebody. You knew they were going into the hands of drug cartels. That's conspiracy to commit murder. Accessory to murder. Over 200 people have died because of your firearms. That's accessory. Mr. Holder, you should be put on trial. Just like any of us, anybody, any civilian in the United States who would have broke any one of your laws would be going to trial. But you think you're above the law. You think the law doesn't pertain to you. You think you're untouchable. Wake up. You touchable. And you will be prosecuted. Janet Napolitano, you say you didn't know about any of this. You say you wasn't aware. Oh, but I went to Brian Terry's funeral. It was a show and you know it. You are just as guilty. You and Eric Holder need to be prosecuted under the RICO Act. Conspiracy, international trafficking, fraud, grand larceny in some cases, from what I'm reading. Illegal. Ignorantia juris non excusat. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Barack Obama, Barry Soetoro, whichever one of the 11 social security numbers you got, whoever's name is attached to it. All of those things have been proven. They ain't got nothing to do with the birth certificate. Whether that's real or fake doesn't even matter anymore. You committed social security fraud when you used a social security number that wasn't yours. If I would have done it, I'd be doing 5 years. If I was to use a social security number that does not belong to me, just an everyday American citizen used a social security number that I do not own, I go to prison for 5 years. You've used at least 11 of them. You can't even work in the United States of America according to your E-Verify website, the Gov website. You ain't even authorized to work here. But you President of the United States, you sold your hope and change. You sold it to the American people, and we bought it. I didn't buy it. I didn't vote for your sorry ass, but the American people bought it. You have committed fraud. You have committed a crime in the United States of America, and you will be prosecuted for it. one way or another. Ignorantia juris non excusat. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Enough is enough. America, stand up. Get up. I put my face on camera, knowing that they might come get me. I don't care. I'm standing up. My daddy taught me I better stand for something or fall for anything. Well, I'm standing for something. Is it in vain? Probably so. Because how many people are really going to stand up and take the chance that I'm taking right now? I don't care. I have kids that deserve a future. A future that I was given as a child, and a future that's being quickly subverted and taken away by this socialist Marxist regime, by these international bankers that are backing the overthrow of the United States government. In 1958, Cleon Skouwen wrote a book called The Naked Communist. It outlined, I want to say 48 points of the communist agenda. Over half of those have come to pass. Look it up. And someone like Barack Obama, Barry Soetoro, has been elected by the American people. And all you got to do is look at his own history that he tried to seal. Remember, the very first executive order he signed when he went into office, as soon as he took office, he immediately signed an executive order to block all of his private and public records. Transcripts, high school, elementary school, college, birth certificate, tax returns, all things that would be public record for anybody else. All things that could be obtained through the Freedom of Information Act by anyone else. Barry Soetoro blocked that first executive order in office. What does that tell you, people? There's something to be hidden. Wake up. Enough is enough. We have had enough. We the people have had enough. Enough is enough.